Oh, I could talk louder. Trust me. Yeah, well, I love, Dinesh was talking about contributions. Tonight is an amazing contribution, and that's, a space where we can all get together. Um, I think that's been one of the things that's been my personal favorite. I've been working in the Cassandra community since it's a long time ago. And this has been my favorite part is like, friends, it's like I just walk in, hey, Vidya, how you doing? We've known each other forever. And Dinesh, he just randomly texts me all the time. It's like, we're all just friends. We all work together, and this is a great community to work with because we're all really excited about the technology. And here's the thing that's really fascinating to me. Cassandra is like accelerating right now. The amount of hires that I've seen going up on GitHub or not GitHub, GitHub, yeah, because that's where you hire people, right? On LinkedIn. Sorry, my brain is in Switzerland right now. I was there on Sunday. I am asleep right now. Um, but it's really crazy because I think that what's happened is this database is totally one. It's accelerating, and it's only getting bigger at the largest companies because it's the only database that does what it does. Done. And it doesn't have to live in one cloud. You don't have to go to Amazon. You don't have to go to Google. You don't have to go to Azure if you don't want to. You don't need to. But you can do it yourself. And it's just really cool. And it all happened in open source. And that to me is the best part. It's like we did it together. And we're going to continue to do it together. I see so many good new contributions. I mean, talking to Jay, it's like, yeah, this really cool thing you guys are coming up with, with repairs, fixing stuff, and like new contributions all the time. So let's get into what I wanted to talk about. All right, how many of you are running Cassandra 5 right now? That's a tepid hand. How about Cassandra 4? Cassandra 3? Oh, this is why I brought the talk. Because I know you're running Cassandra 3. You're not raising your hand. Out of shame, and you should. I did a survey, which reminds me I need to do another one this summer before summer's over. But I did a survey last year. I do it on the project every year if I can. And I ask what version of Cassandra you're running. And like more than half are running Cassandra 3. So let's fix that. So here's 5 things you should know about. First of all, storage attached indexes. If you have not used storage attached indexes, stop wasting your life. Because it really has changed the way we do data denormalization. Now, I'm not saying that you can completely go off of your lookup tables if you're doing proper data modeling, which you should be, but there's a good chance you could. And here's an example, like I have these lookup tables, like here's videos by tag. I just replaced it with an index. Now that is like what normal databases do, right? You create an index so you can do a lookup. And it's going to change the number of tables that you have. It will change the amount of storage you have. And SAI is only getting better. It's continuously getting better. So that's been since, Cassandra 5, you upgrade to that, you're going to have access to it. I wasn't excited for it now. But this is something you need to have. Second one, Cassandra became an AI database while you weren't looking. And it's not even that big of a deal anymore. Vector search, like everything has vector search. SQLite has vector search. I mean, it's game over, right? But it's an interesting thing. I've been working with vector more as a search paradigm than for AI. And semantic search, BM25, those kind of things are so much more interesting. But we've started going down that path with Cassandra as just another index type. And so by adding the vector type to the database, then it allows us to store embeddings, and then having an index, which is based on SAI, and SAI can then index the vectors inside it. And so you can do searches where you can do ANN searches on the data. And it opens up a whole bunch of new use cases, and it's working with Cassandra. Now, there's a lot of, the current version of Cassandra 5 is an earlier version of what DataStax had done. We are working on contributing up the absolute latest codes that we have. We have a team of people that do nothing but search. We're also working with OpenSearch now too. So this exact algorithm, this exact methodology is in OpenSearch as well. So it's in Cassandra, it's an OpenSearch. So, but we were pretty confident that this is going to be just another really important search paradigm for databases. All right, well, and this was, yeah, I know this is a funny feature, but this was new, and I didn't really know. I saw the CEP. I don't think I voted on it. Sorry, but I didn't really think about it until I started using it, and then I'm like, oh my god, why wasn't this here years ago? And it's just masking. It's being able to use role-based masking. So, for instance, if you only want certain users to see the data in your database, in the schema, you can say, I want this data field masked unless you're a part of a particular role, and then you could see it. So think of like credit card numbers, PII, the things that are going to get you in trouble. If you're in a highly regulated environment where you have to care about those things, like who can see what, this is an absolute must. Otherwise, you're doing this on the application layer. And I've seen your code. You should not do that. Let the database do the work. And that's actually the point. It's the database should be, since it's storing the records, it's storing the data, it should be able to be managing this sort of thing. And so I've given you a really brief thing here. Look at data masking. It's got a lot of features. This particular one, I have the inner mask and the hash mask, but there's a lot of other ways that you can do masking. And what's most important is the roles. So look at the way that roles work. So this is, how many is running a JDK8? Yeah, I know, I'm sad too. It's so funny, man. JDK8 is, even Oracle said we're done with it. No one else is. So we're still using it. JDK11, woo, big upgrade. Well, you'll be happy to know that you can run JDK17 with Cassandra 5, and across the board, folks I know that are working with it, and it's funny because I know there are some groups, DataStax, that's using JDK 21, and the JDK, speaking of acceleration, has really accelerated when it comes to quality. JDK 8 and 11, can we just put those away? Those are horrible. Yet somehow we got stuck on this old version of the JDK that had, what was the killer feature? Like some garbage collector that was a little bit better, maybe. Come on, leave it alone. The garbage collection in JDK 17 is amazing, but there's also just little tiny features. And JDK 21, which I think we'll be at pretty soon, has even more amazing features around things like SIMD and working with vectors and that sort of thing. But when I say that you can get 20% faster just by an upgrade using JDK 17, just in that. If you use try-mem tables, another thing that you don't have to do anything, you just turn it on and it'll start getting much better and efficient. The memory efficiency is off the charts. And then this is the one that operators everywhere are crying about, and not in a bad way, in a good way, and that is UCS, Unified Compaction Strategy. This is how you start using less nodes. The folks that are using this now know that you can use less nodes if you use UCS, because it manages your compaction so much better. You can take your nodes up to a much higher state. I know people out there using Cassandra 5 now that are doing 10 terabyte nodes pretty easily. And it's because compaction is under control. 10 terabyte node, it sounds crazy. You're like, what? Shouldn't it be more? Yeah, it should be more, but we've been telling people 4. So 10's good. We should try that out. That's doubling. But when it comes to things like costs of large clusters, that kind of a change can really make things different. And all 3 of these things really don't need any configuration change. You can enable unified compaction strategy, but and I apologize in advance for the docs. We're gonna have to fix that. But just the defaults, the same defaults for UCS is pretty good. And when you run it, you will see an immediate improvement. And so this is your cluster size. This is what I just mentioned. This is happening. Really, I mean, we need to have a user conference, right? Because I think this is going to be the topic people are going to talk about, is that how they're having the size of their clusters by using all of the new things that are in Cassandra 5. and the things that are going to be in Cassandra 6 are going to make it better. But it's because they have the ability with use cases to use UCS, try indexes, better JDKs, that sort of thing, to use less data or less hardware to do the same amount of work. It's something that we like DataStax, we run a lot of Cassandra, and if we can run 10% less hardware, that's really good. And we use all these things, and we use a lot less. We've trimmed down our hardware by a significant amount. I think the last time I counted, we had something like 30,000 clusters running. So we can run up a tab, but there's reasons for these things being there. It's because Cassandra's being worked on by people who actually use it. You know, everyone you heard talking tonight about, oh, we're working on this thing with this feature, these are people that are actually like have to deal with it. They're not like, oh, I'm a feature producer, you know, I build an app. No one, we're all trying to fix our own stuff. So this will be my final plug. I think that's it. What are you waiting for? But I think this is the thing. It's like we are at a point now where Cassandra's accelerating, and we would love for your contribution and love you to join up and join us on the mailing list. And yeah, I think that's all I had. I'm going to try to keep us on time a little bit. Any questions about Cassandra 5? Do you need a download URL? Yeah, the SHA. What do you need? Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for this knowing a lot of efficiency and the new feature about the Cassandra 5. I believe a lot of us want to using Cassandra 5, but also consider the upgrade and migration efforts that sometimes stop us. It's kind of, we need to put more plan for that. Okay.
Sure. So, yeah, I do have a question. Do we need to really migrate data when we upgrade to Cassandra 5, or this is just a kernel version upgrade?
Thank you. I love that question. No.
Oh, then the upgrade should be straightforward, right?
No, you just do it in place. So a lot of these things like UCS is just a compaction strategy change. It doesn't change your data. Yes, if you go from Cassandra 3 to 4 to 5, the SS tables are, you reversion your tables, but those are done online.
Okay.
So, and that's not even something you need to have happen. It will happen over time. So for instance, if you go from 3 to 4, you bring up the cluster, it will read the files, even though they're all 3 SS tables. But as you run compactions and things over time, they will be rewritten in the correct format. You can force it. You can run upgrade SS tables. And some of you with a little ADD love to do that, but you don't have to. But it's all online.
I see. So basically, we don't need to move any data. We probably also, there's also API backward compatibility, so we don't need to change any applications, anything like that. Okay.
No,
should be quite straightforward.
Yeah, it should be. Here's another really fun stat from our user survey. How long has your cluster been online continuously? The average, no, the mean, that's important. The mean was 4 years. Some of the numbers were out 10 years. And these are clusters that have been upgraded from 1.0 all the way up to whatever they're at now. And that's been if you're on the mailing list, and some of you I know see this, is like, we take this super serious. Whenever we upgrade a version, when we have an upgrade, we make it online, and it has to be compatible. That's we can't break that rule. That's our contract with you users.
Okay, great.
Yeah.